So one of the games that caught me by surprise was a title that goes by the name of Arc Raiders. And the reason this caught my interest was for two main reasons. One was that it was a co-op shooter, and the other is the fact that this is a free-to-play game. And this comes a bit of a breath of fresh air after Aliens Fireteam, which you had to pay money up front for, turned out to be a bit shit. And without going into it too much, with the rise of the pandemic, I've been on the hunt for games with a social element to them. And co-op shooters just tick all those boxes. Anyway, as for the game itself, this is made by Embark Studios. They are publishing and developing it, and it is their debut title. And from the looks of things, they're looking to come out swinging because the game did look absolutely awesome. So what we do know so far, and just to iterate again, it is a free-to-play game, it is a co-op shooter, and it is session-based. The story in itself is fairly simple. You are one of a group of resistant fighters known as the Raiders, and there are giant robots flying down from space and invading your world. Now this is where things get pretty interesting because Embark are throwing out some big old claims because apparently they're reimagining the whole genre, claiming that this experience isn't just about loading up ammo into your gun and taking down the enemy, that you're going to have to think objectively, smartly, and come up with alternative solutions to take down difficult enemies. There are scavenging elements to the game. You have to pick up tools and gadgets to fight off the robots that come down from space. Whether or not this means that this is more survival-esque to the game, or you just find them scattered out for the sessions that you create, or maybe it's looter-shooter and you get them at the end of the kill or whatever it is you're going into. I didn't see any survival building elements to it though, and I did see lots of cool gameplay kind of combat action. And the other thing is that it doesn't look like the gameplay is actually limited to just 4-player co-op. I actually saw in the video there was up to 8 people, I believe, at one given point. So some of these battles could be absolutely huge. And given how big the environments look and feel, I'm thinking that it is going to be like lots of people versus these big mechanoid machines. The other thing I really liked about this is the pacing of the game felt really, really fast. There was lots of mobility, your character was zooming across the big open desert, and then you throw in the jump packs and it just added a whole new level of traversal, because there's a scene where you fire your jump pack and you kind of jump up onto this giant robot spider thing and they're doing heavy damage to it with rockets and missiles, and I was like, oh my god, this looks so cool. There also looks to be lots of weapons with like machine guns, and there seems to be attachments on them. There was also gadgets as well. So we seen the jump pack, there was like a Hellfire rocket pod launcher thing, and there was also an ability that fired a rope out and attached to a drone, and you drag it down to the ground and then you kill it and stomp it, and all those good action kind of things. I'll say this again, but the worlds they set up are absolutely beautiful. They set up this kind of Mad Max futuresque dystopian world where the robots have obviously ruined everything and everyone is struggling to survive. The robots that you're fighting as well just looked really cool. There's a scene where like tons of drones fly out of everywhere and you're just trying to shoot them down in the air, and the explosions look good and the lighting looked good, and you could see their little like jetpacks underneath them, and then this giant super colossal one lands down and you're like shooting off the limbs of it and thinking about how you've got to take it down. And maybe it was just the scale or just the fact that this looked so different from the kind of stereotypical co-op shooters that I've been playing recently that really drew me into it. Anyway, so in terms of actual game details and what we can extrapolate from it, so it isn't just a 4-player co-op game. There is a night and day system. The missions will involve some sort of stealth element because there are robots that were scanning the ground, and if you got caught by them then it set off a warning and then more robots arrive. So it's kind of like that Puka Left 4 Dead style element, that if you get caught out then you're going to have to deal with like a horde of robots coming your way. There are also big boss style robots which have a huge scale to them. There was the spider one that they showed the gameplay of, and you were shooting its limbs off for like the weak points, and you have to think about the way that you interact with it. But the cinematic trailer showed a huge kind of like Iron Giant style robot at the end of it, which I'm presuming is going to be another boss, or maybe it's a mission in its own that you have to deal with. That's even if the game has mission style elements. They also managed to capture the kind of elements of what a battle would feel like in this kind of scenario, with like explosions going all around you and rockets just raining down from the sky, and it felt really immersive. It almost felt like I could just watch this as a film. Lastly, I just want to talk about the biomes as well. The world building was phenomenal. This is, I think, one of the main elements that really drew me in, aside the kind of cool robot shooting goodness. Using a desert biome, there's like a forest biome, there's like a future like city biome where everything has run down, and the game just feels very, very pretty. Anyway, that is pretty much it for now. This is a game that I'm going to be keeping my finger on the pulse of, so as soon as I know more, I will give you more details. But until then, let me know what you think of this title. Are you excited for it? Are there any other co-op shooters that you're looking forward to? And until then, have a great week, and I'll be back with more news soon.